Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Conference on Occupational Safety and Health, Food Safety, Oceans, Environment, Climate Change, Wellbeing and Sustainable Development 2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, India's G20 presidency, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns, and also commemorating World Health Organization 75th anniversary year. And we are commemorating World Environment Day 2023 with the theme Beat Plastic Pollution, and also International Day for the fight against illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, and also World Food Safety Day 2023 with the theme Food Standards Saves Lives, and World Ocean Day 2023 with the theme Planet Ocean, Tides Are Changing. In collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Institute and Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing, and all various collaborators. Before we get into the session, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we once again welcome to one-week International Conference on Occupational Health, Safety, Food Safety, Oceans, Environment, Climate Change, Wellbeing and Sustainable Development in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing, and all other collaborators like Pure Earth Foundation, Global Information Technologies, Center for Environment and Development, Vishwavasudha Educational Society, Ishwara Prasada Ayurdalayam, Global Forum for Sustainable Development, Rural Development, and all other international, national, multidisciplinary fraternity, and all the presenters and participants of the one-week International Conference. This conference is organized on occasion of World Environment Day and International Day for the fight against illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, World Food Safety Day and World Oceans Day, and various other commemorations. As part of the conference, we have invited various presentations on the conference themes and sub-themes which are relevant to health, well-being, and also sustainable development apart from these commemorative topics. And it is a diversified, multidisciplinary, multicultural, and multilingual international conference which is being organized in hybrid mode, both offline and online, on Zoom as well as YouTube Live. All the sessions will be available on YouTube Live, and as well as later on you can access these sessions whenever you would like to listen to it again for your reference. And the registration link has been shared in the chat box. Those who have not registered are requested to register once it is enough for the entire week sessions. And those, I would be sharing that also. Yeah, this is a flyer which has been circulated. It's available on the website as well. All the information related to conference has been shared on the website and also in the registration form. All the information is available, including this flyer on website as well as in the registration form. The registration form has been already shared in the chat box and is also available on the website and on the flyer. So last day for registrations, regular registrations for presentation is today. And for on-spot registrations, we have tomorrow. You can submit up to 11th June 2023, that is Sunday. That is one day before the concluding of conference. But the approval and the opportunity depends on the availability of slots for on-spot registrations. So for all the presenters who would like to present your papers, for all the presenters, speakers, panelists, resource persons, they need to register and share all the files and details as mentioned in the specified format on the website. On the registration form, the specific format is given. After filling it and submitting the registration form, you have to copy the format, fill all the details in your email, and then attach all the required files and send it in one single email. After that, we will review and then we will update the schedule on website. Then you can check the schedule. If it is not scheduled, you can call us and let us know. We will let you know if there is any formalities that needs to be completed. All the details are given in a very simple format and easy to understand. So we request everyone to read all the instructions carefully and follow that. And then once upon, there are presentation guidelines that has been provided on the website for those who would like to make a presentation. So you can refer to the presentation guidelines where 5-step procedure is there from registration to getting your certificate. A very simple 5-step procedure. First is registration. Second is sharing all your details, PPT presentation and all your details. And third one is checking the schedule and attending, making a presentation and providing feedback, and finally downloading your certificate from the website. As everything is systematic, automatic, and no manual intervention is required, as long as you adhere to the instructions and follow instructions and complete them in time, you will be getting your certificate automatically. Only if there is some discrepancy in the following the procedures, then there might be any difficulty. So we request everyone to quickly attend to them and follow the instructions carefully. For participants, it's a very simple procedure. Like for presenters, only difference is you need to share your details and presentations and other documents for presenters. For participants, you can register with the same form and you can participate on all the days or whatever day. Each day, certificate will be issued individually after the conference is over. Once all the details are verified, you can participate on a daily basis and provide feedback And feedback is taken in the form of polls in Zoom platform only. There is no external link that is available. So you can download participation certificate once they are updated on the website for each day after the conference within specified time. So there might be also an overall feedback form at the end of the conference. You can check that will be circulated to your email also, and it will be available on the website. For all the information, you are requested to check website thoroughly. All the links are available on the flyer. You can type it manually, or if you have any difficulty, you can visit the website, and all the links are available on the website as well. And all the sessions are live on YouTube. Even the YouTube channel link is also provided on the website in the registration form and as well as on the flyer. The flyer is shared on the screen. You can see all the details are available, and presentation guidelines in detail is also available. We request everyone to follow so that we'll have together a smooth journey learning together. And we apologize for a little bit delay in starting. So today is World Environment Day with the theme Beat Plastic Pollution. So some 11 million tons of plastic waste flow annually into the oceans, and this may triple by 2040, and more than 800 marine and coastal species are affected by this pollution through ingestion, entanglement, and other dangers. A shift to a circular economy can reduce volume of plastics entering ocean by over 80% by 2040. So reducing virgin plastic production by 55%, saving governments $70 billion by 2040, reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 25%, and creating 7 lakh additional jobs mainly in the global south as per UNEP, United Nations Environment Program 2023 are on the priority. So this year, we are also focusing on solutions to plastic pollutions, where our eminent speakers will be talking about in coming sessions. More than 400 million tons of plastic is produced every year worldwide, and half of which is designed to be used only once. Of that, less than 10% is recycled. And the more PET bottles that are contributing to this plastic pollution is the cool drinks or the soft drinks we consume. These are single-use plastic bottles which are widely circulated across the globe. And because every time we consume a soft drink, we are throwing away a single-use plastic bottle. Every time we are buying a plastic water bottle, we are using a single-use plastic that is again dumped into the oceans or buried on the ground or in the ground. So this is the largest amount of pollution that is adding to the plastic pollution. So a small change by avoiding these soft drinks and especially stop using these single-use plastic PET bottles, we can avoid a huge considerable amount of pollution. And also an estimated 19 to 23 million tons end up in lakes, rivers, and seas annually. That is approximately the weight of 2,200 Eiffel Towers altogether. And microplastics, which are in the form of tiny plastic particles up to 5 mm in diameter, find their way into food, water, and air. It is estimated that each person on the planet consumes more than 50,000 plastic particles per year, and many more if inhalation is also considered. Discarded or burnt single-use plastic harms human health and biodiversity and pollutes every ecosystem from mountains tops to the ocean floor and even to the ocean bottoms. With available science and solutions to tackle problems, governments, companies, and other stakeholders must scale up and speed up actions to solve this crisis. So this underscores the importance of World Environment Day in mobilizing transformative action every corner of the world. And one more important mention before I hand over the session to our chief guest. We are also celebrating 50 years of World Environment Day led by the United Nations Environment Program, which is held annually on 5th June since 1973. So World Environment Day is the largest global platform for environmental public outreach and is celebrated by millions of people across the world. So in 2023, it is hosted by Cote d'Ivoire. So time is running out and the nature is in emergency mode. To keep global warming below 1.5 degrees this century, we must halve annual greenhouse emissions by 2030. Without action, exposure to air pollution beyond safe guidelines will increase by 50%. Within the decade, the plastic waste flowing into aquatic ecosystems will nearby triple by 2040. So we need urgent action to address these pressing issues. So join the Beat Plastic Pollution movement. And after the session, we will get into more detail as our eminent speakers of the day will provide insights. And then we will also move on to other commemoration of the day. We have also International Day for the fight against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, which is also taxing the environment and which is responsible for the loss of 11 to 26 million tons of fish each year, which is worth economic value of US dollars 10 to 23 billion. So we will also look into this. So before we invite our chief guest for the day, let's watch a short video.
Life's full of different seasons. Every tree has a reason. Everyone needs healing. I'll be right there for you. From me lick you or feed me. You give me air, keep me breathing, baby. I'll never leave you alone. Her warmth is like the sun shining oh so bright. She keeps me rooted in her soil of life. I couldn't leave her even if I tried. She's branching out for a better life. Do not trouble my, please don't trouble my, don't trouble my world, world, world. Please don't trouble my world.
Am I visible?
Yes,
Good
sir.
evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good
So,
evening.
we have with us MB Krishna Rao Garu. He is our chief guest and also handling the inaugural session. And with the sir's blessings and grace, we are starting this international conference. Sir is heading presently the Pure Earth Foundation, Hyderabad, as the president, and he is also headed various positions as Director General of Police, DGP, erstwhile Andhra Pradesh, and Director of AP Police Academy, Director General Prisons, and also Director General of Fire Services, and also former Managing Director of Andhra Pradesh State Road Transport Corporation, and also at various positions. And he is also actively engaged in environment and other teaching, research, guidance activities. So with this, of course, sir is very well known to us, and with this brief short introduction, without not taking much time, sir has agreed and joined us. So I hand over this session to you, MV Krishna Rao Garu, for your session on environment, plastics and pollution. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Am I audible? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. You are clear. Your video is also clear. Please
Good.
continue.
Good. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Ravindra has clearly mentioned the significance of the 5th of June. And that too, the 5th of June of 2023, that is today, is the 50th anniversary of the observing of the World Environment Day, which started way back in 1973. Most of you are probably not born by then. So on this occasion, there are a large number of programs for the next 7 days. And I'm sure you will find the discussions and presentations extremely informative, stimulating, and knowledgeable. So without any further wasting of time, I will commence my presentation. The topic given to me is environment, plastics, and pollution. Since the time available is very limited, I will not talk about either environment or pollution because almost all the participants are fully aware of the earth and the environment and the way pollution is damaging our environment. And therefore, I will confine myself to discussing plastics and plastic pollution, that is pollution caused by plastics. Plastics are a wide range of synthetic or semi-synthetic materials that use polymers as a main ingredient. Their plasticity makes it possible for plastics to be molded, extruded, or pressed into solid objects of various shapes. This adaptability, plus a wide range of other properties, such as being lightweight, durable, flexible, and inexpensive, most important, inexpensive. So they are lightweight, durable, flexible, and inexpensive to produce. It doesn't cost much. These properties have led to the widespread use of plastics in our day-to-day life. especially in the last 50 years. The success and dominance of plastics has caused widespread environmental problems due to their slow decomposition rate in natural ecosystems. I'll explain. Supposing I have used for about 3 months a toothbrush, which invariably will be plastic. After using it, I throw it into my dustbin, and at the end of the day, somebody in my house will put it in a big plastic bin, and the next day, the garbage collectors, whether of the municipal corporation or private party to whom we have to pay about 300 rupees a month, they will come and load it into their truck and take it away to a place designated by the GHMC, Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, for dumping. It's a dump yard. It's also called technically landfilling. So over the years, all the garbage that has been dumped, it becomes a mountain of solid waste. So my toothbrush, which I used for a while, is also lying there. And so there is nothing that can be done by way of helping it to degrade, except exposing it to sun and an occasional rain. That's all. So the rain and the sunlight are natural ecosystems. In that ecosystem, for this toothbrush of mine to degrade completely and become part of the soil, it will take about 1,000 years. 1,000 years is a huge amount of time. For example, 1,000 years ago, let us say 1023, by then Muhammad of Gawar has not invaded India. He invaded India by defeating Prithviraj Chauhan in the Second Battle of Tarain in 1192. And since then, we were ruled by either the slave dynasty or by Khalji dynasty or by Tughlaq dynasty or by the Lodhis or by the Mughals. And after the loss of power by Mughals, the British East India Company, and after the First War of Independence in 1857 by the British Crown, and eventually in 1947 we became independent. So what will happen in the year 3023 is something that I will not be able to even imagine. The rate at which we are heating up our earth, it has already increased in the last 200 years by more than 1.5 degrees Celsius. And if this global warming continues at this rate, most of us would be dead. Not only human beings, but the flora and fauna. And it is doubtful if the earth will be able to support any life at all with the increasing quantum of greenhouse gases and all these things. So that simple toothbrush that I have used and thrown, that will survive in this environment for 1,000 years. That is till 3023. So every time we use, whether it's an earbud or a small bag, I go to Ratnadeep, an important departmental store, I buy something. If I carry my own bag, then I would be helping this environmental pollution by a small amount, that is one bag less. That is why we have this slogan, reduce. That means reduce plastics. Dr. Ravindra did mention in his introductory remarks about single-use plastics, etc., and how we have to reduce. If reduction is not possible, then you have to reuse them. That is the same bag, plastic bags. If somebody gave it to me 1 year ago, I can continue to use it. So reduction is the best choice. If that is not possible, reuse the same thing till it is completely beyond use, damaged. And the third is recycle. All those which are damaged and cannot be used, they should be recycled to make new plastic bags or new toothbrushes or whatever it is. This is possible only when you segregate. If you mix everything and dump it in that dumping yard or the landfill, then we are committing suicide. As a race, we are not only committing suicide, we are also killing the other living creatures, plants and animals and insects on this planet, which they share along with us. In fact, they came into this earth long before we came. In the evolution chain, they came first. We came much later. So the biggest headache with the plastics is that it's very, very slow decomposition rate. And therefore, whenever we use anything plastic, we should be mindful of the fact that this particular item, this bag or toothbrush or earbud, it will last for another 1,000 years. And therefore, we have to be extremely careful not to increase the load of pollutants or load of plastics on our Mother Earth. This is the most important thing. So the success and dominance of plastics has caused widespread environmental problems. Why? Because of their slow decomposition rate in natural ecosystems. 42% of India's consumption of plastics is used in just one field, that is packaging. Worldwide, about 500 kilograms of plastic is produced annually per person. As you know, the total population of human beings is above 7 billion, above 700 crores on Earth. That multiplied by half a quintal, 50 kgs, is what is being produced per year. And I am now in the 72nd year of my life, or 73rd actually, 73rd year of my life. Therefore, at the rate of 50 kgs per year of my existence, I would have easily added about 35 to 40 kgs. I'm sorry, 35 to 40 quintals of plastic on account of what I've used as a person. So this is the problem. The very slow decomposition rate is the main problem. And this plastic, it leads to extensive degradation in the environment. And sometimes some people, they think it's a good disposal to burn plastics. It's true, when you burn it, it disappears. But it also releases simultaneously a very large quantity of carbon dioxide into the environment. Supposing if I burn that toothbrush or that earbud, what happens? The toothbrush will be reduced to ashes, no doubt about it. But a very large quantity of carbon dioxide will be released into the environment. And that actually adds to the quantum of greenhouse gases in our environment. Now, I'm sure in the later presentations, there will be somebody who tells you what is a greenhouse gas, how it is causing harm to our environment and leading to global warming, heating up of the earth. So these plastics, because of their very, very slow decomposition, in spite of being very convenient material, has become a burden. And therefore, we have to necessarily think twice before we use plastics. So we go back to that very valid advice: reduce or reuse. And finally, recycle. So taken together, plastic consumption and waste are major contributors to global warming and pollution. This solid waste is something that is mind-boggling. Every urban area in India and rest of the world certainly adds mountains and mountains of this unnatural substance, most of which is plastic, and its disposal or degradation will take 1,000 more years. And imagine the plight of human beings 1,000 years from today. So in this connection, I just want to remind you that this is what environmentalists are advising all of us. And that is, there are 9 ways we can reduce plastic pollution. All of us. This applies to everybody. The very first point is boycott single-use plastic. Now, supposing there is some itching sensation in my ear, instead of using a plastic earbud, I can use some newspaper corner or something, roll it, and then use it. That gets degraded within a month. Newspaper is not at all a harmful substance. And it can also be easily recycled. In fact, out of the 3 newspapers I purchased, only the Hindu uses fresh paper. The other 2, Economic Times and Financial Express, they use the entire newspapers. These 2 are printed only on recycled paper. That's why it is slightly yellowish in color. So we have to boycott single-use plastic. That is why whenever I go for shopping, supposing I buy something, out of a sense of courtesy, a shopkeeper would like to give it in a plastic, that too a very thin bag. And certainly it causes a great damage to the environment. My reply is generally, I'll carry it in my hand. After all, it is just one small packet, I'll carry it. But if I'm planning to buy a large number of vegetables, etc., I carry my own cloth bag. So that is how I am able to boycott single-use plastic. The second way or method is join the reusable revolution. That is, supposing there is a stool that I purchased for my bathroom. Maybe after 3-4 years, it gets a little faded, but still works. It can bear my load of 73 kgs and I'm able to sit comfortably. But the color is a little not very aesthetically appealing. If I have to be a good citizen, a good human being, and if I want to reduce the plastic pollution, then I must say, I will use it for some more time. If one of the legs breaks, then I will sell it away to some kabadiwala, a fellow who buys all this plastic, etc., so that he will sell it for recycling. So if I have to use something which is of plastic, I will go on reusing it till it becomes impossible for me to use it. The third is we have to carry our own bags or containers while shopping. For example, I don't know how many of you are meat eaters or egg eaters. In my childhood, there was no plastic. I'm talking about 1956 to 66. 10 years, my mother sent me every day to buy various things, including vegetables and even meat and eggs. So at that time, for meat, I was given a stainless steel small tiffin carrier type. And if I buy some half a kg of meat or keema, minced meat, then that butcher would transfer it into that stainless steel thing, and I would, on my bicycle, come back home. But now that system has been given a go-by. We don't carry our own containers or bags. Instead, we expect them to give you in a plastic bag. And after you come home and you transfer it to a cooking vessel and cook it and enjoy it. But this plastic bag is simply put in the dustbin, and that will not get disintegrated or degraded or get mixed up with the soil for another 1,000 years. So remember, it takes 1,000 years. The fourth one is minimize use of products like toothbrushes, earbuds, straws. That is another, whenever there is a coconut, tender coconut, we, of course, the seller gives us a straw. But if you can somehow drink it without the straw like this, then you are contributing a little to reduction in plastic pollution. If you are doing it at home, then you can transfer the contents into a glass, a stainless steel glass or a glass tumbler, and then happily drink your coconut water. So we have to minimize the use of these plastic things, toothbrushes, earbuds, straws, etc. Then we have one more method, and that is, supposing I need a plastic table or a stool or a plastic chair. It's so convenient, plastic chairs which can be stacked one over the other. So that kind of chairs are hardly 500 or 600 rupees per chair. We tend to buy it. And after a few years, when it is faded away, we throw it away. Instead of that, if you can purchase second-hand plastic tables or plastic stools or plastic chairs, instead of buying brand new, then you are contributing to the reduction of plastic pollution. Then one more method is buy fewer plastic items like mugs, jugs, etc., and use them till they can no longer be used due to damage. Ideal thing is to use a jug or a mug of stainless steel or copper or brass. But because they are a little heavy, we tend to buy plastic mugs while bathing or using the water to be transferred from a bucket into buckets themselves are plastic because they're light. Now, we have to make sure that we do not frequently change them. We use the mug till it is broken. We use the jug till it is no longer capable of being used. We have to use that plastic bucket till it is broken. This way, you will be using less number of plastic items and therefore reducing the load of plastics on Mother Earth. Then we also have an option of using products made from recycled materials. There are nowadays many items which are made from recycled material, including paper, as I mentioned about those two newspapers. We can also, writing paper also can be recycled paper. Like that, there are many materials which can be recycled, and therefore, if you buy a recycled material, then you are contributing to reduction in the load of plastics. Then another way you can reduce plastic pollution is consider sharing or hiring instead of owning. Supposing there is something, there are, say, 4 members in my family, and there is a mosquito swatter or something like that, some plastic material. It's better to share instead of each one of us buying and when it is broken, adding to the load of plastics. And lastly, that's very important. Those who are conscious of the damage that is being done by all of us, inadvertently, we don't have an evil intention, but because of the convenience of plastics, we tend to presume that all these advices that have been given do not apply to us. These are only for classrooms, or these are only for youngsters, whereas people like us need not follow. That is very wrong. We have to lead by example, and then only we can inspire others. If I, as president of Pure Earth Foundation, an organization which is dedicated to the cause of reducing pollution, especially plastic pollution on Mother Earth, and retarding and slowing down global warming and reducing the greenhouse gases, etc. If I do not set an example, then Dr. Ravindra mentioned about these plastic bottles, etc. Cool drinks, even when you go for a wedding or something, 200 ml small little Kinley or Bisleri plastic bottles are given. And unfortunately, most of the bottles are not even fully consumed. You just have a sip and then you throw it away. All this is added to the huge pile of plastic material which is dumped at the end of the function in some big dumping yard. And then eventually it goes to the solid waste management, the heap, the mountain of landfill. So here I want to end. To sum up, I have to mention that though plastics are indeed very convenient and much cheaper than the materials that we were using prior to the advent of plastics, we have to ensure that the use of plastic is reduced. In fact, we should simply refuse to use plastic, but if it is inevitable for various reasons, then we have to reduce. And if there is an item which can be reused, kindly reuse it. And if it is an item which can be recycled, please give it for recycling. Dispose it off in such a way that it is recycled. And the 9 ways in which we can reduce plastic pollution I mentioned. And these are all simple things. And I'm sure every one of us will not find it inconvenient to practice these 9 methods of reducing plastic pollution. Here I pause, and we still have 20 minutes. My session is supposed to end at 7:30. Therefore, if there is anyone who wants to either supplement or seek clarification or contribute anything else, most welcome. Back to Dr. Ravindra.
Thank you, M.V. Krishna Rao Garu. You have set the direction for the conference with very simple instructions and suggestions. We can make a lot of difference in a very simple way. You have conveyed to all of us, like as you rightly mentioned, every day we wake up with a toothbrush. And now we have bamboo toothbrushes also available. So even wooden toothbrush. So where we can replace the toothbrush with that. And similarly, as you rightly pointed out, by sharing our appliances and the various aids, and we can easily exchange and reduce and reuse. Even recently, the government of India also, I think last year or before a year, they have also launched this right to repair facility where we can get the product repaired instead of replacing. And that is also contributing this a wonderful initiative, as you rightly pointed out, reduce, reuse, and recycle, which is under the program of Lifestyle for Environment Movement, that is in short known as LIFE. So similarly, you have really wonderfully set the tone and direction for the conference, and we thank you for gracing us. And before I invite participants for their queries, we invite all the participants to feel free to share your observations, queries, comments. You can unmute one by one so that one after the other, and you can share.
Hello. This is Dr. Raidu.
Raidu garu.
Namaskaram, Raidu.
Good evening. Namaskaram, Mr. Rao. I'm happy that I could listen to you very carefully. I added one more point. It is only 3 our Government of India has said, but we have added one more. Reject we can also reject, as you rightly said. When you go to a vendor, he is giving you a plastic what you call the
carry
bag. You can reject it. You say that I don't want, I'm carrying my cloth bag and etc. One more thing is that recently, in fact, I'm fighting for this plastic menace from 2003 onwards, from the Pollution Control Board point of view. And this life of the different plastics, you have given a beautiful example of a toothbrush, which we use for one time. In some hotels, they keep it for one-time use. This is becoming one day, and this is becoming a menace in the dump yards. They are not actually the scientifically driven garbage yards are not there in our country yet. The scientific methodology is not been adopted. Particularly our Hyderabad, if you go to that dump yard near Damaiguda, it is a hell. I have gone twice or thrice there, and I saw that the heap of plastics, they segregate it at the end of the day, but still it is a menace. So we have to reduce, reuse, recycle, and reject. That is my point. Thank you for your wonderful lecture.
Thank you. Thank you, Guru Garu. Thank you, Guru Garu.
Thank you, Raidu garu, for your wonderful observation. Even I stay in AS Rao Nagar, and if we feel when it rains now, after 1 or 2 days, we cannot.
Yeah, it is horrible, hell.
Yeah. So we can understand there are many such dump yards, and you rightly.
There are collection centers, and there are some dump yards. The unmanned dump yards are also there, which are being, and they burn it. That is another big menace. If plastic is being burned at low temperatures, they create dioxins and furans. That is a big issue that is going on in almost all the dump yards. Thank you, Ravindra garu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Raidu garu. Thank you, Krishna Rao garu. And Mary Florence, you can unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir. I thank Dr. Ravindra sir and Sri Holistic Health Foundation for giving me this opportunity to raise my opinion. Sir, I worked in environment organization Greenpeace, Bangalore. There they said me how solar energy is used for Facebook, then this Twitter, and how much we should provide environment, how we should use cotton bags. It brought me a lot of my memories of my work, sir. 2 years I worked in environment NGO, New Delhi, Greenpeace NGO, and Bangalore was the branch office for that. And they told us how to how you used to drink copper bottles, you should drink water, and how you should not take shopping plastic bags and cotton bags. Your session was really, it brought me memories, and at the same time, you have spoken valuable points, sir, how in small age you have not used plastics. Yeah, we have not used plastic so much. So, lot of very informative and lot of takeaways are for me. It incredible and so valuable sessions, sir. God bless you, sir. All the best. Hope to
Thank
see
you, Mary. Thank you, Madam Mary.
Thank you, Mary ma'am. Anyone else would like to share? Feel free to unmute yourself one by one.
Should I?
Dr. Jayanta, welcome. Please go ahead.
No, thank you and congratulations. I mean, you say today everybody is following, everybody is observing International or World Environment Day, and people are talking about the plastics. And we are recalling that when that first World Environment Congress happened in India, that time also the same resolution came that plastic, no plastic and this. But ultimately, year after year, it is happening today. One of our participants rightly pointed out that it is not only government, but also it is important how the citizen will respond, how citizen will take care or take part of that. It is not the rules and regulation to ban or plastic, but how we are going to or ready to, I mean, something not to use or say no to plastic. It's not necessary that only that will say no to plastic, because plastic become so important and part of parcel of each and almost every product. But to some extent, how we can reduce the use of plastic, that is important. This way, it is important again to think some alternative, as he was mentioning that nowadays a lot of alternative things are coming, like bamboo, like paper and other things are coming. Those things we should promote day by day as usual. Like a carry bag was talking about that, whether the paper made or the I mean the cotton made carry bag for market or something, shopping malls, and those things are required. So it's an excellent initiative. Once again, congratulations to you and all the speakers. Though Global Forum for Sustainable Rural Development is one of the partners, but hardly we can manage time for this. And other event, you alone, you are doing all this. I mean, every week, your commitment and your work for this. And all the participants who came here, once again, thank you for joining this program. Very important. And whatever the discussion happened here, let us think how we can carry forward in our personal life and personal responsibilities also. So citizens' responsibility is most important rather government approach. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Dr. Jayanta ji, for joining us and sharing your wonderful feedback and observation.
Hello.
Anyone? Yeah, Mohammed.
This is Nadeep. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, please go ahead.
This is Nadeep. I saw the video. It is good. Okay. It is satisfied. In the all over Bangalore, the plastic bags are cancelled because of the correct population is going wrong. Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Wherever we want to go, we want to carry one cloth bag to take the items. Then we will be safe. No means some government officer will cancel the rules and regulations. Before that, we will be on safe.
So what? Yeah, as you rightly said, we need to reduce, go for alternative use.
Correct, correct. All the shopkeepers where we will go buy the items, they want to keep the one cloth bags to carry the items for public.
Yes, as our chief guest also addressed, Krishna Rao garu, we need to go for alternative, like cloth bag is reusable bag. We can use n number of times and we can carry it easily. We can fold it and keep it with us every time wherever we go now. We can buy things and keep in that. We can reuse. So it's one of the safest method, also eco-friendly. So we can go with that. At least we can reject the plastic as our Krishna Rao garu said, and we can go with this.
Before the government rules and regulations, we want to cancel the paper bags.
Yeah, thank you, Nadim.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, Dr. Bushraj, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very informative session today. Hello?
Yeah,
Please carry on.
Yeah, it was a very informative session. As I'm a dentist and sir was talking about the toothbrushes, that was a very, very good example. It creates a mass amount of waste that is piled up in the oceans finally, and it is not degradable. But as sir told us about the degradable and reusable toothbrushes and tooth paste, so it is a very good initiative, and we can actually conserve and protect our environment. So actually, this session has been very helpful to even the health professions and even the dentists, and to us also. And I'm really very thankful to all of you for this session today. Thank you so much, sir, for the very informative session.
Thank you, Dr. Bushraji. Yeah, Krishna Vashisht, you can unmute yourself.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good
First
evening.
of all, I will pay my at this got a lot of information how we can minimize the plastic. First of all, we have to make our voice very hard to stop using the plastics. We have to talk our friends, relatives, neighbors about this plastic pollution and how we can take our step to minimize it. Then we have to strictly ban on this plastic. We have to use them when we recycled plastic, and give up these plastic wraps and the bags. Instead of plastic, we can use the paper bags. And we have to start not only the government efforts, we have to start the community efforts also. Because nowadays plastic pollution is spreading just because of the community. For example, if we are moving to our shopping malls and we demanding for the plastic bags, this is also enhancing the plastic pollution. And for this, we have to stop buying these plastic bags also. And nowadays also, as the summer is approaching very high, and we are focusing on purchasing the plastic bottle, water bottle also. We, instead of using this plastic bottle, we have to use the reusable water and refill it all. And so that we can take the initiative to stop this plastic pollution. And the very informative information given by Krishna Rao sir, how we can minimize, and we have to use the 5 R's in our life also. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Krishna ji, for your contribution. Anyone else would like to share your feedback, observation, clarification, comments? There are a lot of appreciation messages in chat box. I don't see any queries as such. Yeah. Kaur, you can unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to say my views. Actually, sir, everyone saying that we should use clothing bags. But what about the ready-made packets are coming? Many eatable items are there. Milk packets and milk bottles are there. What is the solution of these type of items? And what step can be taken? Government has to take steps so people follow the rules. On my level, I am trying to remove the things from my house. At least I have made my kitchen plastic free. So I have come to know many things from sir. Thank you for the good session. But I want to know the answer of this question. What is the solution of milk bottles, milk packets, and other eatable items are coming in packets?
Yeah, thank you, Kaurji.
Yeah, I'll respond.
Yes, sir, please.
As I mentioned, 42% of India's consumption of plastics is used only in the field of packaging. As you correctly pointed out,
yes, sir.
For example, every day, supposing I buy 1 liter of milk, I'll get 2 packets of 500 milliliters each delivered at my doorstep. And that cannot be reused, nor can it be recycled, because it is not recyclable material. Therefore, all of us, especially the scientists, should think of an alternative, because the merchant, the person, not exactly the person, the field, there are, like Amul and others, there are so many people who,
yes.
on a very large scale, they collect milk from various people who have cattle. They chill it, they pasteurize it, and they sell it. Now, they should find, instead of the kind of thin plastic that they are using, some other material which can be recycled or reused. So that is a void in our knowledge base. We'll have to do something about it. That is how this packaging industry is causing, unwittingly, I can't say that they are responsible. We have not given them right alternatives, right solutions, how that milk is to be delivered. Previously, as a young boy, I remember milk was delivered in glass bottles. Maybe we should go back to those glass bottles. I don't know. The glass bottles concept has been given up. I don't know the economics of it, whether it costs a little more or we had to return. I think I remember as a young man, we had to return the old bottle so that you get the new bottle, something like that. So that is much better from the point of view of pollution and environment. Thank you for pointing out the need to go further. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I have noticed after marriage, there is a wastage of plastic cups and plastic plates, and they dump near the road, outside near the side the road.
Near the Shadi Khana, just outside.
That is also a problem.
Yeah. I don't think we should invite thousands of people. We should give them so much of water. We should simply keep some dispenser in one corner and say, जिसको पानी चाहिए, आप ये glass है इधर, आप भर लीजिए. There is no point unnecessarily giving 200 milliliters of Kinley or Bisleri water bottle to everybody, just for one sip.
Yes.
Good
Thank
point
you, sir.
you have mentioned.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna Rao Garu. Thank you, Kaurji. Raidu Garu wants to add.
He is at liberty.
Raidu Garu. Sir, you would like to add on this?
Sorry. I would like to add, my connection has gone.
Oh, we can hear you, sir. Now it's
Yeah,
fine.
you can hear me, no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
The plastic that is being recycled, I would like to add that the one-time plastic what our Krishna Garu was mentioning about was there is one Chennai, we have got a industry which is called polymers. What they do is they collect bags and then they
Sir, we lost your voice.
Okay, Andy, it's now time for my next engagement. I actually am a teacher, so my class starts at 7:30. So thank you very much. God bless you, Dr. Ravindra Garu.
Thank you, sir, once again, all the way taking time for us and joining us on this wonderful occasion and inaugurating this 1-week international conference with your grace and blessings, and always being as part of our Guru. Under your guidance and blessings, we continue to lead forward with your guidance and take it a way ahead. Thanks once again for joining us on behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Center Institute, Sri Research Institute and Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing, and Pure Earth Foundation, Global Information Technologies, Center for Environment and Development, Vishwavasudha Educational Society, Ishwar Prasad Ayodhalaya, and Global Forum for Sustainable Rural Development, and also from all the presenters and participants. Thank you, sir, once again for joining us. We wish you all the success and look forward for more sessions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So after this wonderful session, Rayudu Garu is back. Rayudu Garu? Maybe I think there is some connectivity problem. Jayachandra Garu?
Sir, Ravindra Garu.
Yeah, resound వస్తుందండి.
Yeah, first I have to close this.
Then mute one system. Then so would you like to make quick comments on World Environment Day?
No, first I should resolve my issue here. Yes,
Because this is inaugural day, I would like everyone, all the collaborators to have their message delivered so that you can take 5 or 10 minutes to talk on World Environment Day.
yeah.
Otherwise, you can take some time and we'll get back to you.
Yeah. Please. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Jayachandra. Dear friends, we have raised the feedback form for session 1 in the form of polls. We request everyone to quickly attend to the full feedback form in the form of polls. It is mandatory. All the participants, those who have not registered, are requested to register. If you have registered, no need to register it again. Registration is only once for all the 8 days. And those who have not registered, we request you to register. If you have registered, you can ignore the registration. And feedback form is shared in the form of polls. You can see a window that has popped up on your screen. Otherwise, you can access the polls from the option polls quizzes. When you click on that, you will find active polls. When you select that, you can see feedback for session 1. There is no link that can be shared externally. So we request everyone to fill the feedback form and stay back for the rest of the sessions. There are few more sessions. And also, as part of this conference, we have a quiz also, which is being held on Sunday, that is at 10 o'clock. So we request those who are interested to participate in the quiz. On Sunday, there is also a separate link for that, which is available in the conference schedule page, where you can visit that page and you can find in that schedule on Sundays, we have quiz link available. You can register for that quiz and you can participate. There is separate registration for the quiz. Those who are interested in the quiz, you can register and you can participate in the quiz. That will be conducted in the morning on Sunday. And for all those who are participating in the quiz, they will be given participation certificate along with the highest scored participants will also get cash awards subject to minimum registrations. So you can keep registering till Sunday by 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. All the registered participants can join and participate in the quiz. You can share with your friends, colleagues, and various students and research scholars community. Everyone can participate. There is no age restriction. And we request everyone to register for conference also and share this information to everyone so that everyone can benefit of this conference. So we are waiting for everyone to fill up the feedback form. So we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form so that we can close it and we can move on to the next session. Dear friends, we quickly request you, many have to be, still have to fill up the feedback form, as this is the first feedback form. We are giving you enough time. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, and I will take up the next session. So as our chief guest for the conference have been, for the day, have been mentioning about recycle, reduce, reuse. And this is a great movement, in fact, that our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, has taken very bold decisions. In fact, we have seen no other Prime Minister of India has taken such a bold decision, irrespective of any political party. We are not in favor or against or in support of any political party, but as a Prime Minister, he is Prime Minister for everyone, as we have elected, and that he has to be bold enough, he or she, to take decisions that are useful for the entire nation. Like as rightly pointed out by our various participants and also eminent speakers earlier, reduce, recycle, reuse, these all are possible only with the right to repair. Because most of the time what happens when we purchase something from the market, any product, we have to go to particular service center only. We cannot repair by ourselves. We cannot get it repaired by any other third party, because once it gets repaired by the third party, what happens? Automatically, the warranty voids. Once we open, unless and until it is a serviceable part and repairable part, what is going to happen? The warranty gets void. So that's why we call this as a great initiative. We have in other foreign countries similar kind of option, wherever if we don't find a nearest service center or if it is not feasible, or sometimes we see, especially with the authorized service centers, the problem is they take long time, because especially the quantum of work involved, they usually take long time. Mostly, we hardly get things repaired on the spot. Some require observation also, so they keep it for 1 or 2 days and test it after getting repaired and then delivered. Only very few vendors on very few products, they offer counter exchange. That is, whenever there is a defective product, they are immediately replaced with a new product. And sometimes they give refurbished product. So whenever there is some issue with the product, they are taken back and they are serviced, and with the same warranty, they distribute those products to other customers, those who are coming with the products with certain issues. So this is other way. And there is another way where third party, with this right to repair, we have third party authorized agencies or companies, those who are authorized, trained by the manufacturers or by standard organizations following standard procedures and quality control measures, can repair on behalf of the manufacturer. So they can charge also a negligible amount, and they will take the product, they will get the repair product, they will take the approval, and we need not pay. We need to pay a little amount, like insurance we take. There is a negligible amount based on the price value of the product. And once we take, we get an additional warranty. Say, suppose 1 year, 2 years, apart from manufacturer's warranty, they charge for additional warranty. And the another greatest benefit we get is through on-site warranty. Generally, what happens? Not every product has on-site warranty. We have off-site warranty or carry-in warranty. I mean, we need to take the product to the nearest service center and get that service center product repaired or rectified at the service center. Again, there is costs involved. Service center should be in your proximity, or there should be such a conveyance. You need to take the product. If it is small, that's fine. If it is delicate or if it is a big one, then you need to arrange for the transportation cost again. That is adding up to the costs of repairs. And also, you know, this is Environment Day today, and a lot of emissions. Again, we are using vehicle runs by fossil fuels. Again, transportation, pollution, all these are adding up. So this right to repair, empowering customers in the local market, harmonizing the trade between original equipment manufacturers and third-party buyers and sellers, emphasizing sustainable product consumption under the program of Lifestyle for Environment, in short known as LIFE. Various sectors are covered, which includes farming equipment, mobiles, electronics, display data, storage systems, components, consumer durables, automobile equipments. And there is a dedicated portal. I will share that portal also to you by the end. It is right2repairindia.gov.in, where if you are a consumer brand, you can register. In that, if you are selling something, if you are distributing something, if you are stocking something and providing sales service or warranty service, you can register in the portal and you can utilize the services. So the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, MCA, has set up a committee to come with the right to repair framework, which was launched in 2021 as part of COP. And the framework is significant as it will give consumers a chance to repair their products at an optimal cost instead of buying new products altogether. And the important sectors for the initial focus for the framework are farming equipment, mobile phones, tablets, consumer durables, automobiles, and automobile equipment. And in this portal, which I mentioned, this portal has consolidated list of consumer care contact details of all major consumer products manufactured, so that we can contact them. Such companies or consumer products by name related to their product, service, warranty, terms, all are aggregated on this portal. So the concept behind this is the right to repair for consumer goods refers to the concept of allowing end users, consumers, as well as business to repair devices on their own or service without any manufacturer or technical restrictions. The right to repair India portal is Department of Consumer Affairs under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Government of India, which provides warranty and post-sales information provided by the consumer brands to consumers in India. So this is a wonderful concept where we can get our products repaired by ourselves if it is self-serviceable, or we can utilize from third-party services as well. And we can claim the warranty services without effect. And as part of, if you want to get trained in servicing, repairing, then you can register on Skill India portal, on skillindiadigital.gov.in. You can register as a trainer or you can register as a trainee and get trained on various repair services. So this greatly contributes to the environment by repairing and reusing different materials, products, appliances, and aids, and so that they can be used. And apart from that, this environmental degradation and climate changes, which are global phenomena, where actions in one part of the world impacts ecosystems and populations across the globe, estimated suggests that if requested action is not taken against the changing environment, and approximately 3 billion people globally could experience chronic water scarcity, the global economy could lose up 18% of GDP by 2050. Over the last 2 decades, several macro measures have been implemented globally to address environmental degradation and climate change, including policy reforms, economic incentives, and regulations. Despite their enormous potential, actions required and the level of individuals, communities, and institutions have received limited attention in this regard. So changing individual and community behavior alone can make a significant dent in the environmental and climate crisis. So according to the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, in short, if 1 billion people out of global population of 8 billion adopt environment-friendly behaviors in their daily lives, global carbon emissions could drop by approximately 20%. So that's why the idea of life was introduced by our beloved and respected Prime Minister during the 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference of the Parties, in short known as COP26, in Glasgow last year, that is in 2021, before year. The idea promotes an environmentally conscious lifestyle that focuses on mindful and deliberate utilization instead of mindless and wasteful consumption. So life is a public movement, a Jan Andolan to mobilize individuals to become pro-planet people. The life movement aims to utilize power of collective action and nudge individuals across the world to undertake simple climate-friendly actions in their daily lives. The life movement additionally also seeks to leverage the strength of social networks to influence social norms surrounding climate. The mission plans to create and nurture a global network of individuals, namely pro-planet people, P3, because of 3 words starting with P, who will be having a shared commitment to adopt and promote environmentally friendly lifestyles. So through the P3 community, the mission seeks to create an ecosystem that will reinforce and enable environment-friendly behaviors to be self-sustainable. As even our friends were also saying, unless and until we change ourselves, we cannot see the change we would like to see. So that's why we have to change ourselves first. We cannot keep blaming the government or communities or industries. No, once we change ourselves, once we stop buying, which is polluting our planet, automatically, because when there is no demand, automatically supply ceases. So no one wants to produce something which has no demand in the market, right? So the change has to come with us. We have to stop using, we have to start rejecting such products which are causing harm to the environment or the planet. So the mission replaces the prevalent use and dispose economy governed by mindless and destructive consumption with a circular economy, which would be defined by mindful and deliberate utilization. Life seeks to create an ecosystem that will reinforce and enable environment-friendly behaviors to be self-sustainable. Then we have today's commemoration also. Just watch a short video, then we'll move on. Feedback form is still active. We have kept it open only because this is the first time. We want everyone to be used to that form. It will be active. Still some more have to fill. So don't worry. If you have closed it accidentally, you can access it from the polls quizzes menu. If you have already submitted, no need to worry. As we are talking, everything starts with us. So let's take the change, take the decision, informed decision, and let's start with this Environment Day. Let's all try to reuse, recycle the products which we are using and try to beat the pollution, stop the pollution. So today is also commemorated as International Day for the fight against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. So the toll of illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, fisheries provide a vital source of food, employment, recreation, trade, and economic well-being for people throughout the world for the meat eaters. In a world of growing population and persistent hunger, fish has emerged as an important commodity for the achievement of food security. However, efforts by the international community to ensure sustainability of fisheries are being seriously compromised by illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing activities. According to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, in short known as FAO, illegal and unreported and unregulated fishing activities are responsible for the loss of 11 to 26 million tons of fish each year, which is estimated to have an economic value of US dollars 10 to 23 billion. To curtail this impact, Target 4 of Goal 14 of the Sustainable Development Agenda, adopted in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly, specifically urges the international community to effectively regulate harvesting and end overfishing, illegal and unreported and unregulated fishing, and destructive fishing practices by 2020. Meeting this ambitious target requires strong awareness raising efforts to draw the attention of the general public to the negative impacts of illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing activities, an activity in which FAO has been actively engaged. To promote long-term conservation and sustainable use of fisheries resources, the 1995 FAO conference adopted the FAO Code of Conduct for Responsible Fisheries. The code is voluntary and sets out principles and international standards of behavior for responsible practices with a view to ensuring the effective conservation, management, and development of living aquatic resources with due respect for the ecosystem and biodiversity. In 2009, the FAO conference adopted the agreement of the port state measures to prevent, deter, and eliminate illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. The agreement is binding and stipulates port state measurement to prevent, deter, and eliminate illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. It entered into force on 5th June 2016. In 2015, the General Fisheries Commission for the Mediterranean of the FAO proposed that an initiative to be launched to declare an International Day for the fight against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. Following extensive consultations, a proposal was submitted to the attention of the 32nd session of FAO Committee on Fisheries. The Committee on Fisheries endorsed the proposal for the declaration of 5th June as an International Day for the fight against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. The date reflects the day when Port State Measures Agreement officially entered into force as an international treaty. The entry into the force of agreement marks an historical event, as it is the first international legally binding instrument and especially devoted to the fight against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. The proposed draft resolution was submitted to the 40th session of the FAO conference, July 2017, for approval. In December 2017, the United General Assembly, in its annual resolution on sustainable fisheries, proclaimed 5th June as the International Day for the fight against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. In the same resolution, the United Nations also declared 2022 as the International Year of Artisanal Fisheries and Aquaculture, which will help the focus attention on the small-scale fishermen and women who comprise 90% of the world's fisheries workforce. It is estimated that 1 in every fish caught comes from IUU fishing. When such fish ends up on your plates or on our plates, we are unwitting accomplices in unsustainable and often criminal practices that are damaging for our culture, well-being, and the sustainability of the planet. But we can help change that. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, in short known as IUU, is a broad term that captures a wide variety of fishing activity. IUU fishing is found in all types of dimensions of fisheries. It occurs both on the high seas and in the areas within national jurisdiction. It concerns all aspects and stages of the capture and utilization of fish, and it may sometimes be associated with organized crime. IUU fishing undermines national and regional efforts to conserve and manage fish stocks, and as a consequence, inhibits progress towards achieving the goals of long-term sustainability and responsibility. The State of World Fisheries and Aquaculture 2022 reviewed the world status of fisheries and aquaculture, as well as the pillars of the blue transformation, focusing on intensifying and expanding aquaculture, improving fisheries management, and innovating fisheries and aquaculture value chains. Blue transformation emphasizes the need for forward-looking and bold actions to be launched for accelerated in coming years to achieve the objective of the declaration and in support of 2030 agenda. Let's watch few more videos and so that we can gain a little bit insights, more insights into the topic. Those who are having any issues with submitting of polls, you are requested to update your Zoom app with the latest version, whichever your device supports, and stay on screen, especially those who are using mobile phones. If you are not on screen or if you are browsing something else or doing some other activity, you may face difficulty. So keep the screen active where the Zoom session is going on. You can log out and log in quickly. Even that will also sometimes solve the problem. And we have limited time for the feedback. Only 5 minutes will be given. We request once the feedback form has been raised, we request everyone to quickly fill the feedback in the form of polls.
By 2050, It is estimated that millions of people could die every year due to antimicrobial resistance. By 2030, it could cause global GDP to drop by $3.4 trillion and push 24 million people into extreme poverty. But what is antimicrobial resistance, or AMR, and why should we be concerned? Antimicrobials help treat infections and diseases in humans, animals, and plants, and allow us to perform complex surgeries with greater success. You may know them as antibiotics, antifungals, antiparasitic, or even as disinfectants. As more antimicrobials are used and released into our environment, microbes are adapting into superbugs and are one of the biggest threats to global health. With growing resistance, many antimicrobials that are used to prevent and treat infections are becoming ineffective. But this is not just a human health issue, it's also an environmental issue. AMR is linked to the triple planetary crisis of climate change, biodiversity loss, pollution, and waste. Our changing climate affects AMR. Higher temperatures can be associated with increases in AMR infections. Extreme weather patterns can also contribute to antimicrobial resistance. As flooding increases, wastewater spreads faster, accelerating the spread of resistant microbes. Impacts on microbial biodiversity may affect carbon and methane cycles, which are directly involved in regulating Earth's climate. Microbes inhabiting natural environments are sources of pharmaceutical discovery. However, in recent decades, land use changes and climate change have altered soil's microbial diversity, which may affect our ability to make medical breakthroughs. Pollution in key sectors of the economy contributes to the development, transmission, and spread of AMR. Reducing pollution created by the pharmaceuticals, agricultural, and healthcare sectors and municipal waste and wastewater is essential to reduce the emergence, transmission, and spread of superbugs. We need to tackle antimicrobial resistance through a One Health response, which refers to the interconnectedness of human, animal, plant, and environmental health. By working together to establish strong policies and regulation and prevent and manage chemical and biological pollutants, we can limit the development and spread of superbugs. To reduce the spread of superbugs, the world must cut down pollution today.
So that's how even the environment, the products we use, they are also causing a lot of issues in a multifold effects. So now we have with us Dr. Jayachandra, who would address on this World Environment Day for a few minutes. He is Vice President, Pure Earth Foundation, and also CEO for GIT. You can unmute yourself and start your video set and deliver your message.
Yeah, thank you, Ravindra Garu. So it's my privilege to be part of this World Environment Day 2023, and I appreciate the efforts by all the associates, making not just a single day and a week-long programs for various topics on this, particularly the theme of this year's World Environment Day, be plastic pollution. And of course, plastic, not only plastic, the pollution is in many terms. And before that, coming to that pollution, So I remind all the participants of today that we have successfully completed 50 years of celebrating the World Environment Day. And I hope you all remember and recollect, it was first celebrated in the year 1973, June 5th. And the previous year of that year, that is 1972, the Stockholm International Conference, where the world countries unanimously decided to celebrate every year, June 5th, the World Environment Day. And the first was celebrated in 1973. So that means in 2023, we have completed the 50 years. And if you remember, the first World Environment Day theme was One Earth. And many occasions of resource-related, earth-related programs and conferences and seminars. Myself, maybe few of you were there, aware why Earth was unique, only Earth, why there is no alternate Earth, why there is no other planet having similar environment, similar life, similar conditions for the bio-life. So most of you are aware. And from that year onwards, we are continuously choosing different focal themes, some catchy words based on the timely incidents and timely changes on the environment, timely needs of the world. We took up different themes every year. And initially, if you see the first half of this 50 years, that means the first 25 years, there was no topics on pollution, that this word called plastic. Pollution was there, because pollution is not just plastic, it is there in every field and every domain. Like all the whatever you called Panchabhutas are also polluted. So your water, your air, that sound, whatever you do, the noise, like that, and the earth and the sky, like all polluted, including the fire. Though fire can do everything, burn, but a few things even fire can't do, that even fire also got polluted like that. So all Panchabhutas are polluted. And the first half of these 50 years, maybe around 1995 to 97, 98, like that, in that period, it was not that effective, particularly the present year's plastic pollution, where we are struggling to fight, because it is growing like parallelly. The plastic waste is piling up like anything, which cannot be controlled without any solution, without any alternate. Alternates are there. Only thing is, we don't have mindset. The humankind doesn't have proper mindset. The only humankind has the mind to set the world, set the environment, set the earth proper, and live like a model to all other creatures, because we can do research, we can study, we can understand, we can learn, we can do everything when compared with every other creature, living creature. The only other creatures, including living or dead, they all, one thing I can say, they all live for some utility, some use by others. This is the only creature, human being, who lives for himself, for herself. We do not know, we never learn. I always strongly feel the reason for every damage or every bad thing or every the negative side of the environment and problems and issues of causing damage to the environment and damage to the earth. That is all only one creature, only one reason, that is human being, who only has all these things, and who is only the creator, who has the responsibility to find a solution also. Even I can recollect till this first 25 years from the World Environment Day started, there was no single-use plastic. Plastic was there in many, because plastic is part of our life, part of our the living things. So, but the single-use plastic was not there. Even I remember, I can recollect, I used to go with my mother to the weekly markets and wear with a cloth bag. Every individual carries some cloth bag or any basket, maybe basket which can be usable multiple times. And every vendor, the small vegetable or any small things the food grains, whatever you buy, everything they give in paper packs, putting into that plastic, either basket or in a cloth bag, and then keeping them all properly. This is what I observed in my childhood when I was young, and then going with mothers. That was a wonderful life. It is exactly around that way, but then only it started slowly. I do not know, maybe for like industry, Krishna Raos are told, the manufacturing and the packing industry, because to attract the customer, attract the people, that package is, see, for example, like milk packets, one good lady raised an issue from her, seeing every day few packets buying and then seeing that is neither used again nor anything, but you will have a lot of attractions on that, lot of colorful printing, so much things. See, ultimately, this is what is the bad thinking, the negative side of humankind. That is what. There is no need. Maybe you can check up good solutions also for these kind of issues, always there, and the role is from individual to families, groups or societies, and villages, towns, like that, and then districts, whatever you call up, whatever level, individual to the topmost country level, administration or groups or societies, every individual, everybody, every company, every individual and every entity in the world should seriously think, first of all, understand this. But what is that? We do not educate the people. How was the life few decades ago? That means hardly 3 decades back, it was fantastic. Particularly, plastic was there, but not polluting the oceans, polluting the rivers, polluting the water bodies, polluting the soil, and polluting the all other creatures. Even like you see in fish stomach, plastic will be there. Cow or goat, anything that lives on nature, they are forced to eat this plastic also as part of their food. So you see always videos, always so many things, so many this YouTube, anything, this kind of things, they viral it, and they never learn what is our role, what should we do, our part, to counter this and all. So this 3 decades development, we have achieved so much digitalization, digital information technology. Even I can say, though I belong to the space science, and then how to best utilize the earth resources through satellite and all. See, even the satellite technology started in 1972. Interestingly, the time where the Environment Day started. From that year onwards, whatever scientists of the world, different countries who are involved in launching satellites and taking so much space activity, you think there are tons and tons. I don't know exactly, can't even. Whatever launch vehicle that goes to space will not come back. Not only, I am telling this point, the human is not only polluting the earth, he is polluting even the space. all the satellites, all the launch vehicles, everything you sent beyond Earth atmosphere into space will not come back because there is no Earth gravity. Earth don't have that power to pull them back. Only often some part, something, if it comes, enter into Earth atmosphere, it will come and hit the Earth surface. And this is what often we see. Some asteroid or something, this thing, that thing is coming and hitting the Earth, something like that. So much of waste, so much of dump we created even in space. We are not leaving anything. We claim these are all development, one side. Yes, we agree. The advantages of all these, certainly it is for the development, but development in the positive direction, development in the betterment of the whole Earth and all the biolife, not just only for the selfish needs of the human being alone. So whenever, whatever you invent, whatever you develop, whatever you bring up something new, you should have this thought of how far it is going to impact the other creatures, the Earth and the nature and the environment. This is very important. And all the rules, all these things, so we will confine to the the speeches, the policies, but implementation, which is, I strongly believe, the failure or the growing of the pollution or the negative impacts on the environment is only due to the failure of implementation by human beings. Good suggestions, good advices, everything we talk. Yesterday there was a bad incident. Whole world was paid sympathy. We had a railway accident. Around 300 people lost their lives. Only we will think and we try to learn something, and we will quickly forget within very short period. So that is the biggest problem. We should have a permanent solution, permanent way of, and of course there are good examples cited across the world by few countries. You take few countries, how they control pollution, control waste. So you check them. Even I mentioned earlier a few lectures also. Like for example, in UAE or in that Dubai, Sharjah, the countries, I'm not saying that the other countries have any issue or anything, or even take Singapore, Malaysia, the countries, the administration is very effective. The implementation, because there is serious punishment, there is sincerity in implementation. Because we are corrupted, that is the main thing why this all negative things happening in the world is because of corruption. I can relate to this. You talk what is this the beat plastic pollution today and how it relates to the corruption is, yes, Prime Minister gave long back to stop producing single-use manufacturing. Even today, it is there. The same Prime Minister stopped the currency, 2000 or the whatever, 1,000 rupee notes was implemented so effectively, perfectly, 100 to 100% successful. And even the present 2,000 rupee note by this November or whatever they have given deadline, after that, can you see anywhere 2,000 rupee note? Every one of you accept it. Why can't the same principle used for single-use plastic? Is it a different thing? Corruption. I can say the answer is corruption. When corruption is there, entering in every box of the administration, how can you see the result? See, I seriously appeal. So I don't want, I was given only a very short few minutes by Ravindra Garu too, and I have a session on someday again in this week-long programs. Just think I'm leaving to you, giving a successful way something we are implementing, and at the same time, we are a miserable failure when it comes to single-use plastic. Krishna Rao are told, yes, 1,000 years, 500 years, each item has their own, lifespan. They will not degrade. Then when such damage, such issues are there, why can't we apply that same rules? Same rules. So please think. I will join back in this continuous conferences of World Environment Day related themes. Certainly, I will be very happy to interact, spend more time on that day of whichever day I was given, maybe probably on 12th, the last day. So we will see, and we will learn a lot from so many eminent speakers are there. And I hope I can share a screen if any of you not seen. These are the speakers we have as one of the associate. So we had Krishna Rao Garu today, and we will have a lecture on pollution, the impact of pollution on our weather and climate by our former director, IMD. And the 6th, that is tomorrow. And we'll have the next day, 7th, an associate professor from Malaysia, Manipal International University, Malaysia, will be talking on water resource management. And then our Raidu Garu, the former deputy director, Pollution Control Board, Tamil Nadu, talking on again. It happens to be a World Ocean Day, 8th June. So want to touch upon that, the significance of ocean and the pollution, ocean pollutions and all. And we have another eminent speaker, Dr. Tulsi Rao. He had wonderful work, practical work in the Andhra Pradesh Forest Department. So both forests and wildlife management, he will going to address. And we have Professor Venkat Reddy Garu, retired professor from NIT Surathkal. So he'll be talking on the pollution, soil pollution, conservation, and sustainable development. And we have Kainat Aziz. She is a scholar from Central University, Gujarat, and a native of Jammu Kashmir, and done her PhD and waiting for her award. So in that landslides and certain things, particularly environment related only. So she is going to speak on the pollutions, the impact or the raising pollution levels in and the beauty of Kashmir. That is, some spelling mistake is there. And of course, myself will be back with let us discuss same thing what I am talking. I'll try to continue, and I want more people to indulge in the interaction. So even today I was expecting more participants to pose questions and make the program like an interactive. See, every one of you are you are expert in your own life. Leave the profession. Every individual, we have our own expertise and own experience. I was happy that one lady, I forgot her name, concerned that the pollution, the plastic, seeing in her own kitchen and all. That is that is kind of interaction I expect. So if we start thinking, start talking, certainly we get solution. There is beautiful solution. Only thing we lack of. So I will add more to continue discussion on that day when I was given. So thank you, Ravindra Garu, with this small opportunity I was given, and I thank all the participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Jayachandra Garu, for your comments and observation. Yeah, in coming days, we'll have wonderful sessions, and many presenters are also there lined up. We request all the presenters who have registered, who formalities are yet to be completed. Once your formalities are completed, we will schedule your sessions. So today's presenters also are requested to share your details in the chat box accordingly. And thank you once again, Dr. Jayachandra, for joining us. And we wish you all the success. Look forward for more sessions in future. We will continue with our commemorations today, and those who are who have registered for today's presentation, if you are available, you can share your details in chat box to host so that we can invite you. So let's watch another video. See, actually, there is a lot of content. You know, people are so desperate. I don't understand. We don't use, when we are talking about reuse, recycle, you know, there is a lot of content that can be used. You know, people have invested, like United Nations and UNEP and various organizations across the world are creating so much content to create awareness. So there is no point again recreating the same content over again and again. You know, somehow we are in the phase of identity crisis, trying to create more and more of content, like, you know, these political parties or the rulers want their own, you know, credit of their creation or procreation of buildings or infrastructure or even the programs. They keep changing names, they keep constructing new building, demolishing old buildings, you know, which are not at all, you know, worth, because they can even sustain for another 100 years. A lot of resources are being wasted, which also creates a lot of pollution, a lot of energy consumption. So I truly believe, personally at my level, you know, I use a lot of videos, especially from various organizations for creating awareness. In fact, this entire program, you know, of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, they have created a lot of, United Nations have put a lot of efforts, a lot of funds, a lot of resources. So we should also use, otherwise what is the purpose of creating content and sharing? You know, if you don't share, what is the use? So it should be freely available as it is available, and it should be widely utilized. That is the main purpose of creating so much content. And so we are using lots of content also. I am proud to say that, you know, there is no point unnecessarily reinventing the wheel again and again. That is not a wise decision as well, because when there is a content available already, unless and until there is an addition to that, we can always add to that. So that is why we are using many videos, which are, because that also gives an acknowledgement to their efforts. If someone is using, like United Nations, when they are coming up with so many awareness videos, when we are using them, even they also feel happy that the content which was created to create awareness is being used by us also. In fact, by everyone, it should be used. That is where we have, you know, our reuse policy can be applicable. So let's watch one more video that talks about how, because the greatest pollution, I will come up with statistics, if possible, today or tomorrow, and how these reusable PET bottles, it may be in the form of soft drinks or water bottles, these can be completely avoided. Even as our earlier speakers also spoke, even in my childhood days also, milk used to be delivered in bottles only. Even all the soft drinks which we are drinking now, right, are all delivered in glass bottles only. But now with the advent of more technology and single-use plastic became evident, and it became very cheaper. And, we did not bother about the environment. And that's how we started using single-use plastic. And we today arrived in such a situation, we are choking ourselves, our planet, our plants, our animals, and entire living beings, we are choking with this single-use plastic. Otherwise, even today, I feel, somehow we need to go back to the glass models only. And as rightly pointed out, in all the gatherings, especially social gatherings, we see a lot of waste is generated in the form of these plastic glasses or plastic plates. Instead, we can go with these reusable plates. Most of the places we can see leaves, these ackee leaves and various other leaves are used to prepare paper plates, in which, it is also good for health to consume in such plates rather than consuming in plastic plates and this thermo, there is that material which is synthetic or other types of material, because when the food which is hot is served on those plastic, that micro particles enter into the food. Even the tea, why people are getting more cancers, the simple reason is the hot tea which is consumed in plastic glasses. That is one of the main reason, because we buy tea and that is poured very hot in the plastic glass, which is of less than 40 microns. And the moment you pour very hot, boiling hot tea into that, the microplastics enter into the tea and you consume that and it enters into your blood also. It's not just tea, anything that is hot. So that is creating an impact on our health. And also the same microplastics, even fibers also, various, when we use clothes which are synthetic, there are microfibers, they are entering into the water streams and they are consumed by fish and all other. And again, that is being consumed by us. And thus, microplastics are entering into our body and bloodstream. Recent research has also shown that we are completely filled with microplastics, including our blood. So that's to such an extent we have, started abusing the plastic. Maybe it's not a right word to use plastic. I mean, we have abused, we are exploiting, we are abusing the use of plastic beyond what it was intended for initially. So let's watch a short video where it shows what happens to the plastic bottle once it is consumed.
This is the story of 3 plastic bottles, empty and discarded. Their journeys are about to diverge, with outcomes that impact nothing less than the fate of the planet. But they weren't always this way. To understand where these bottles end up, we must first explore their origins. The heroes of our story were conceived in this oil refinery. The plastic in their bodies was formed by chemically bonding oil and gas molecules together to make monomers. In turn, these monomers were bonded into long polymer chains to make plastic, in the form of millions of pellets. Those were melted at manufacturing plants and reformed in molds to create the resilient material that makes up the triplets' bodies. Machines filled the bottles with sweet, bubbly liquid, and they were then wrapped, shipped, bought, opened, consumed, and unceremoniously discarded. And now here they lie, poised at the edge of the unknown. Bottle 1, like hundreds of millions of tons of his plastic brethren, ends up in a landfill. This huge dump expands each day as more trash comes in and continues to take up space. As plastics sit there being compressed amongst layers of other junk, rainwater flows through the waste and absorbs the water-soluble compounds it contains, and some of those are highly toxic. Together, they create a harmful stew called leachate, which can move into groundwater, soil, and streams, poisoning ecosystems and harming wildlife. It can take Bottle 1 an agonizing 1,000 years to decompose. Bottle 2's journey is stranger, but unfortunately no happier. He floats on a trickle that reaches a stream that flows into a river, and a river that reaches the ocean. After months lost at sea, he's slowly drawn into a massive vortex where trash accumulates, a place known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Here, the ocean's currents have trapped millions of pieces of plastic debris. This is one of 5 plastic-filled gyres in the world's seas, places where the pollutants turn the water into a cloudy plastic soup. Some animals, like seabirds, get entangled in the mess. They and others mistake the brightly colored plastic bits for food. Plastic makes them feel full when they're not, so they starve to death and pass the toxins from the plastic up the food chain. For example, it's eaten by lanternfish. The lanternfish are eaten by squid. The squid are eaten by tuna. And the tuna are eaten by us. And most plastics don't biodegrade, which means they're destined to break down into smaller and smaller pieces called microplastics, which might rotate in the sea eternally. But Bottle 3 is spared the cruel purgatories of his brothers. A truck brings him to a plant where he and his companions are squeezed flat and compressed into a block. Okay, this sounds pretty bad too, but hang in there. It gets better. The blocks are shredded into tiny pieces, which are washed and melted so they become the raw materials that can be used again. As if by magic, Bottle 3 is now ready to be reborn as something completely new. For this bit of plastic with such humble origins, suddenly, the sky is the limit.
Plastic has become a big part of our lives. It's light, it's strong, and seems cheap. But it's wreaking havoc on our planet. Every year we produce 430 million metric tonnes of plastic, most of which becomes waste after just one use. We produce enough single-use plastic each year to fill over 21 million shipping containers. If they were stretched end to end, it would circle the Earth not once, not twice, but over 3 times. If business as usual continues, plastic production will triple by 2060. If business as usual continues, plastic could produce 19% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions by 2040, getting us further and further away from the goal of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees. This would be very bad news for people and the planet. So the question is, how can we address plastic pollution? In a recent report, UNEP lays out how we can reduce plastic pollution by up to 80% by 2040. The first step is to reduce how much plastic we use, period. We also need to deal with the immense legacy of plastic pollution. But more importantly, we need to transform the way we produce and consume the stuff. A life cycle approach can reduce virgin plastics, eliminate problematic and unnecessary plastics, minimise waste, and keep plastic in use for as long as possible. It can also create better jobs and business opportunities. 3 important shifts are required. 1, we need to scale reuse. This means creating a market for reusable products and making it more profitable than using single-use plastic products. 2, we need to make recycling plastics more profitable. Improving recycling can reduce plastic pollution by 20% by 2040. 3, we must find ways to make products that are less harmful to the environment. This includes finding materials to replace plastics and making sure they are better than plastics we use now. In 2022, world leaders agreed to end plastic pollution. With negotiations on the binding legal agreement still underway, the question is, how can we realise that goal? If we reduce, reuse, recycle and reorient, we can significantly reduce plastic pollution by tackling its root cause, not just its effects. If we shift to a circular economy for plastics by 2040, we could save $4.5 trillion. It would also improve the livelihoods for millions of workers worldwide. The technology and solutions already exist. It's time to take action.
Plastic has been a solution. It has given us convenience, affordability, utility. However, the durability of plastic is both its benefit and its curse. Plastic pollution endures. It's suffocating our planet. We have seen solutions that work, rejecting single-use plastics, creating circular and sustainable alternatives, managing plastic waste more efficiently. Together, let's create systems to better reuse, reduce, and recycle. Let's push for an ambitious global agreement to end plastic pollution. Let's demand governments and businesses act, commit, and set new standards. Use your voice and your choice to beat plastic pollution. Let's do better.
On this World Environment Day, we are calling on everyone to help beat plastic pollution. Why, you might ask? Well, because plastic pollution is choking our ecosystems, warming our climate, and very likely damaging our health. Recycling is not the sole solution, nor the magic bullet. Our system simply can't cope. Change has to happen across the whole life cycle of plastics. We must refuse unnecessary single-use items. We must redesign products and packaging to use less plastic. We must reuse, recycle, and reorient and diversify our systems. This is how we keep plastic out of the ecosystems and in the economy. Everyone must play their part. Governments can deliver a strong outcome on the deal to end plastic pollution, which is currently under negotiation. And businesses can adopt a life cycle approach. The financial sector can put its capital right behind this very transformation that we need to see. And we, citizens, we can use our voices, our votes, and our wallets to drive change. My thanks to Côte d'Ivoire for showing their commitment to beating plastic pollution by hosting this, the 2023 World Environment Day. Now I ask that you join this global movement and help us beat plastic pollution once and for all.
This World Environment Day is a call to beat plastic pollution. Every year, over 400 million tons of plastic is produced worldwide, 1/3 of which is used just once. Every day, the equivalent of over 2,000 garbage trucks full of plastic is dumped into our oceans, rivers, and lakes. The consequences are catastrophic. Microplastics find their way into the food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe. Plastic is made from fossil fuels. The more plastic we produce, the more fossil fuel we burn, and the worse we make the climate crisis. But we have solutions. Last year, the global community began negotiating a legally binding agreement to end plastic pollution. This is a promising first step, but we need all hands on deck.
We want Global Plastics Treaty!
A new report by the UN Environment Programme shows that we can reduce plastic pollution by 80% by 2040 if we act now to reuse, recycle, reorient and diversify away from plastics. We must work as one, governments, companies and consumers alike, to break our addiction to plastics, champion zero waste and build a truly circular economy. Together, let us share a cleaner, healthier and more sustainable future for all.
There's more than one way to peel an orange. There's more than one way to beat plastic pollution.
You can start by avoiding single-use plastics. Reuse stuff, repair stuff, recycle. Use your voice. Engage your representatives. Demand action. Use your choice. Buy things that don't end up in our ocean and earth. There's more than one way to beat plastic pollution.
For more solutions, check out United Nations Environment Programme's guide on how to beat plastic pollution.
Very juicy.
There's more than one way to dance. There's more than one way to beat plastic pollution.
So you can use incentives and taxes to encourage better waste management. You can invest in reuse and recycling practices. You can run education programs. You can adopt bans. And on the world stage, you can engage in legally binding global agreements to end plastic pollution and to drive us towards a circular economy. There's more than one way to beat plastic pollution.
For more solutions, check out United Nations Environment Programme's guide on how to beat plastic pollution.
So let's all together take a pledge to stop, reject single-use plastics and consciously use plastics in our day-to-day lives. Do we have with us today's presenters, paper presenters? Can I call upon Karthikesh or Nityashri? If you are there, you can raise your hand. Karthik, Nityashri, Sarifat, all the presenters are requested to check the website schedule. Because of short time and last minute, we are not informing anyone about individually. So if you want to present, you have to contact us in time and you have to follow up with us. Because in the last minute, it's your responsibility. Because you have come in the last minute. Now, even that responsibility also lies with you to follow up with the organizers for your presentations. So hope today we don't have any further presentations, so we will conclude it here. Thank you everyone for joining us. Before we conclude the session, let me once again show the procedures. As rightly pointed out by our speakers, it's only our attitude towards our needs and wants and desires. If we have a favorable attitude, we continue to learn. If we don't have a favorable attitude, we continue to suffer. So it's basically upon us how we want ourselves to be. So if we have an attitude to learn, to share, to explore, then we'll also go through all the instructions carefully. If we don't have that kind of attitude, then we will not follow. So it's all depends on our attitude. So before concluding, this is a website address where you have been provided all the information. You can just type it SRICASW.org. Here all the events are listed. And here you can see this single slide is same for all the programs and events. This is the procedure for the participants and presenters who are willing to present their presentations. And this is a very simple step, a common sense where we can use our common sense to visit the website and find out details. This single slide explains everything about the program, the participation and everything. This is same for all the events. As a participant, you need to register. If you are a presenter, you can register with both, with the same form. If there is individual form, you can fill it up, individual forms. So as a participant, you need to register as a participant, then participate, then provide feedback in the form of Zoom polls, and then there will be an overall feedback. If there is any, then you need to fill the overall feedback also on a daily basis or for the entire conference. And finally, download the certificate after stipulated time. And in between all this process, there is a time. Depending on the time limit, the next step will be available. For here, you can register anytime once it is announced and then check the schedule, or generally every day it's 6 p.m. So you can join with the same link for all the events. You can join at 6 o'clock and you can continue attending to sessions, then provide feedback for form for each session or for all sessions, however it is, as decided by the organizers. Then you can provide overall feedback. Then you can download your certificate. This is simple 5-step procedure, which I was talking about in presentation guidelines also. For presenter also it's same, but additional thing is, as you need an approval for your paper presentation, you need to send the details about your presentation. That is only additional task. Apart from that, all the procedures are same. Now register as a presenter, and as it is a single form, you also need to register as a participant. You can just select both. That will suffice. And here, what all details are required to be sent are presented here. The same format. Here you cannot copy because it's an image. But the same format is mentioned on the website also. Here you can see presentation guidelines. In that you can copy and paste. Otherwise also in the registration form also, this format is available. You can copy from that and you can paste it in your email and fill all these details and attach your PPT file, your passport size photo, your biodata or CV or profile. And if you have a full paper or abstract, you can attach that also. And if you want to collaborate or if you'd like to be a co-signatory, you can also attach your organization logo and also your signature along with your details. Then once you send this, you have to send this after registration. This has to be sent after registration. You have to send all the details along with your files in a single mail to this email address, conference email address. and then wait for 1 or 2 days so that we will review. Our team will review and update it in the schedule. So because time is short, we are not informing individually. It's your responsibility to come back and check the website schedule. Here, this is the conference. And here, when you click it, you have this schedule. You can click on this to find the scheduled presentation. Only those who have completed all these formalities, only their scheduled sessions will be scheduled. And in certain cases, they might seek an exemption, but that's not an exemption. They need to complete these formalities before they get certificate. Sometimes, people try to act over smart. First, they take a permission and they try to present, and later on, they say, I have presented, again, I am not getting certificate. Don't think you are extra smart and other people are fools. Because I'm making a statement here because I have seen many people. I have records also for that. And don't play smart here, because you are encouraging this way. You are not following the instructions and you are encouraging corruption. Because everyone needs to follow the system. The system is mentioned, it is clearly mentioned. If you are skipping any of this, then you are engaging into a corruption. It is unethical, immoral behavior, which is not encouraged anywhere. So you are under the obligation. Once you utilize the opportunity, then you are under the obligation to complete it at any cost. Now that is your responsibility. You cannot get away with that. So let's be responsible. And once you register as a presenter, you need to send all these details in a single mail. Don't send one file in another mail and one file in another mail. Don't do that. Be like a professional. Copy all this format, fill all the details and attach all the files in a single mail and send it to the coordinator, to the conference email address. Then you can, after sending that, you can give a call, or you can copy the filled in format from your email. Already you filled all these details. No need to send all these files in WhatsApp. You can copy the same thing which you have sent to email, and you can copy this along with your filled details and send to coordinators WhatsApp, so that there is a quicker response. Once all the details are available, and it will be reviewed, and you will be permitted to make your presentation. Then you can provide the feedback and then download your certificate after prescribed time. Here there is also one requirement, that you need to join at least 30 minutes or 60 minutes before your presentation, and you have to wait after your presentation 30 to 60 minutes so that you can fill up the next feedback form. Sometimes we see, feedback form is not shared for every session. So you have to wait until you fill at least one feedback form in the polls. That is mandatory. And those who are presenting less than half an hour, they need to stay on the platform minimum for one hour for presenters also. We can't be so selfish that we come and, take the benefit and leave off without any contribution. So, and that too, this is quite happening. We have observed many times. People come for 2-3 minute presentation, and again, that's a different story. So that is not valid. From now onwards, we are not encouraging them. So even if your session is less, you have to stay at least 1 hour on the platform. Then only you will be eligible for the presentation certificate. So if you need participation certificate, you also need to register as a participant along at the same time. No need to fill again. You can select both, and you can also attend, and you can download participation certificate also separately. and presentation certificate also, because this is issued on a daily basis. Every day, the procedure is same. So only additional step is you need to share all these details. Then only we'll review and then we'll schedule it for presentation. So the flyer is available as informed. This is the conference details. Registration form is there. So in that, I will also show you the format, and dates and timings are mentioned. Every day 6 p.m. onwards. Link is same for all the events. Not only this event, not only all 6 days or 8 days, but for every event, the link is same. This is a YouTube channel. You need to subscribe so that you get updates whenever a new session is added or streamed live. So you will also get an update. So conference email address has been mentioned. Conference website is also mentioned. And also there are 2 groups to facilitate communication. One is Facebook and one is WhatsApp related to environment. So both of the things are available. So you can join these groups so that you can get benefit. Otherwise, website is there. Always you can see all the updates here. So this is the flyer which I have showed you. All the details are also mentioned on the flyer, the title, dates and timings. And many people keep asking whether it is free or not. It is clearly mentioned and there is no mention of any fees. This is completely free for a purpose, so that everyone can participate, those who are economically also backward. It's not that free, we don't get anything for free. We pay for everything. We pay for the system, we pay for the infrastructure, we pay for the office, everything we need to pay. In fact, I'm spending my time 3 to 4 hours, otherwise also I can earn, you can also earn. So everything is, has a price, but for a noble cause, we all are coming together. So though you may be not paying, but someone else is paying for it. And at the same time, we are not taking any donations, any funds, any sponsorships from any organization. So our hard-earned money we are investing so that everyone can make best use of the opportunity. So everyone use this opportunity to utilize it for learning and caring and sharing. So in this flyer, the themes are available. As sustainable development is included, almost everything is included. You can present on any topic, but try to connect it to, at the end of the day, it should be connected. You should be able to connect the topic to sustainable development. Even in arts language also, sustainable development is there, is required. And here is the registration form. And though presentations it is mentioned, it is regular registration, and after that on-spot is there based on the availability. How you will know? Only after you send all the details. After register and said, you will be knowing. About publications, we have mentioned, certificates also. Conference website is mentioned. Schedule is also mentioned, schedule link, and manual verification. Also it is mentioned, joining link. And formalities, as I mentioned, 5-step procedure is there. Register, participate, provide feedback, download participation certificate. Similarly here, register, share all files and details, then check schedule on website, present, provide feedback, and download your presentation certificate. So these presentation guidelines are mandatory. Every presenter needs to be aware of these presentation guidelines. It is your responsibility to read. And for collaborations, there is free collaboration. We are not even charging for that. You can collaborate with us for any number of events. And this is a YouTube channel. And here we have this website address along with coordinator contact number and conference email address. So that's very simple. So here also there are direct links for conference details. You can click on this. So you'll be getting the conference details. So here registration form is there, Google Calendar is there, everything step by step it is mentioned on each page. So conference schedule, here also from here you can access, or from here also you can access. So this is a conference schedule. So today's sessions. So we had 2 paper presentations scheduled, but they did not attend. So like this, instructions are given. Before presenting, you check all the details, whether you have completed or not. And daily join so that until your presentation is completed, so that like if anyone is absent, we can invite you. And we are also instructed to join at least 30 or 60 minutes prior and wait after your presentation so that you can provide your feedback. So similarly, those who have completed all formalities or those who have taken permission that they will complete the formalities due to various reasons in 1 or 2 days, we have scheduled them. So only after you complete your formalities only you will be given certificate. Otherwise, even if you participate also, if you present also, if you don't complete your formalities, you don't register, you don't provide feedback, if you don't share your details, you will not be given any participation or presentation certificate. It is mandatory, very simple also. No, when you are seeking a document, you also need to complete the documentation process. So here, all the days schedule is available, and certificates. Here also there is e-certificate option. From here also you can come and visit. Otherwise also you can click it here. See, every day, even day 8 will be added. Don't worry about that. So those who have completed all the formalities like registration, participation, feedback, and overall feedback, their certificates will be automatically generated by the system, and it will be placed in Google Drive, and that Google Drive link will be updated here. This is for presentations, and below is the participation certificates. And presentation, those who are looking for presentations, for them this is a must. Everyone should go through it. So the same procedures are there. First step, register, submit your registration form with all valid and complete details. Then copy this format. As I already mentioned, it is also here, this format. The same format is available here. In the registration form also it is available. Here also you can copy this format like this and paste in your email application. Till here you copy it, you fill all these details, title, date, this is 1 week conference, and dates from 5th to 12th June. Then you can select conference, you can delete rest of the things, and you have already submitted, then you can enter date and time and when you would like to present. So this is purely subject to availability, and the decision of organizers is final. So there will be no individual intimations because this is very short time. You need to come here. Here, there is schedule, you can check it. Otherwise, you can also call coordinator and find out after checking the website. So all these details and these files, PPT and abstract, full paper, if available, you send. Otherwise, PPT, photo, resume is enough. You check whichever is available, whichever is applicable. Accordingly, you can share. As a collaborator, we have said your organization logo and scanned signature. And then after sending, wait for 1 or 2 working days. If there is no time, then you immediately call coordinator and inform, so that we will review it and see if it can be accommodated. So sessions will be scheduled as per the availability by the organizers. Presenters are requested to follow and abide them by checking on website. Now after that, once your schedule is there, or even if you are not scheduled, you can join at 6 o'clock and share. Once you join, if your session is scheduled, you can share with the host about your presence so that you can invite. So before presentation, you check whether your Zoom app is latest and all the system permissions I've given, camera, mic is working, PPT file is opening. You keep your PPT file open so that it can be easily shared, and make sure your system device is plugged into your power source so that you don't run out of charging, or charge it completely, and connect to a high-speed network, whatever best network you have. Also move to a best place where you have full network coverage, and ensure you are setting up your name correctly. And when invited, you start your audio video presentation and start sharing your presentation, and adhere to the allotted timings and Q&A sessions following presentations. So of course it's always a great cultural practice, and our sanskar, our parents has given, our family tradition has given us, whenever we visit some place, whenever we are invited, or whenever we go somewhere, we express our gratitude for the opportunity, being part of that. So you can convey your gratitude in an appropriate manner. A sample format, because many were asking what could be the format. So we just put one format. This is not the only format. You can choose in your convenient way, or the best way you can choose, and start presenting and conclude. And after that, provide feedback form and then download your set. Very simple. This entire thing has been put in a single slide or photo here. Same thing is here. It is very easy. You can see, otherwise you can read it also. Very simple procedure. Don't overthink and complicate it. And then certificates already you have seen will be updated. So now hope everyone is clear about the procedures, and all the details are there, themes, topics, and what need to be shared. And it's clear. After presentation, after conclusion of conference, we will be sharing one more feedback form, if any. After that, in the specified time, we will let you know on the last day of conference when you can download. After that, anytime you can visit the website and download your certificates. They will be there, no need to worry. So if you have completed all the formalities, system will check and automatically generate. If system is not generating, then you might have done some mistake in the 5-step procedure. And all your presentations are live now. You can see it is being recorded and also on YouTube Live. So you can also go back and visit. YouTube channel link is also shared. So you can visit YouTube channel. And also it is recorded in Zoom. So based on your attendance, registration, attendance, and feedback, will be provided with certificate. So thank you everyone for joining us. See you all tomorrow. Anyone would like to present, complete your formalities and be ready for the presentation. Once it is approved, you can go ahead with your presentation. Thank you, everyone, each one of you, for joining us on the first day of 1 week international conference. See you all tomorrow with the same link at the same time. Take care. Good night. So before leaving, we request everyone to fill up the final feedback form. Similarly, this is the overall feedback form for each day. You can fill it up before leaving the platform. Thank you, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.